December school board meeting, Odessa School Board. We've already established a quorum. At this time, I need a motion for the approval of the session agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Now I need a motion for approval of the consent agenda items, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Communications.
We have no board communications for this meeting.
Thank you.
No requests for comment were submitted.
No requests. Okay, it's making a difference.
So this month, and she's not able to make it, Ms. Time Johnson was chosen as a Making a Difference Award winner. She's the high school process coordinator. They had several things to say, just a few things. Time has a passion for helping students and other staff with whatever they need. When a student or staff is having issues, she'll be the first to drop what she's doing to assist and help them. She leads in planning special events for students K-12 to ensure they have new opportunities and experiences. And we did recognize her at the building level last week, and we will feature her on social media as well. And get this plaque to her. And that's it.
Thank you, Time.
Yeah. Community champion.
Community champion, we have several members tonight from the Backstack program. If they would come up to receive this plaque from Mr. Shippey. The program is chosen as the community champion award winners for the Odessa School District this month. Thank you to all the volunteers that have been able to attend. The organization has demonstrated a strong commitment to serving the needs and families and students in our community. The program began in 2007 when retired educator Laura Scott recognized the need for additional food support for students outside of school. Today, the program works with 6 local churches to provide over 50 backpacks of food each week. And they rely solely on community support, donations, and volunteers to operate. And thank you very much for everything you do for us.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Student recognition.
So this month we have a student recognition. Our card designs were done again this year by our students, this time in high school. 2 students, Leah Sanders did the Christmas card, and the birthday card was done by Jada Starchman. Neither were able to attend this evening. We recognized Aaliyah last week at the office. Jada is coming by the office tomorrow so we can recognize her for being selected as the award winners. They each receive a $25 check from the district and a complimentary set of the cards for them to disperse with their designs on them. So thank you to them. I wanted to make sure and recognize them in this platform, but thank you for what they've done. And those will be going out to staff members. Christmas cards here next week, and then birthday cards throughout the year. So thank you, ladies, for what you've done.
Time for academic focus.
Mr. Shepard.
All right, I have invited some members from our FFA chapter to come speak to you tonight, so I'm just going to turn it over to them.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Harper Dickey. I am a junior. I serve as the Odessa FFA president, the area secretary, and a national reporter.
Hi, my name is Aubrey Ryder. I'm a senior and I am the chapter secretary.
Hello, my name is Kaylee Robinson. I am a senior and I serve as the chapter first vice president.
All right, we are here on behalf of the Odessa FFA chapter just to share some information.
Alrighty, so how do we compare to Missouri? The number of staff in ag education, there's 177 schools with a 1-teacher program, 83 schools with 2 teacher programs, 22 schools with 3 teacher programs. which is what our school offers. 3 schools with 4 teacher programs and 1 school with a 6 teacher program. There's 250 students enrolled in agricultural education here in Odessa for the 2025-2026 school year. We are also ranked 10th in the state for program enrollment.
Career pathways and course offerings. Currently, we offer 5 of 6 pathways. The last pathway will be made available in the upcoming school year, as we did get a grant to fund that. The 6 pathways are agribusiness, agricultural technology and automation, plant science systems, water systems, animal systems, and coming soon to Odessa, food science and processing. We offer 16 unique courses to students, and the little flower vases that you all have are complimentary of our floriculture class.
We have industry-recognized credentials. Students are currently having the opportunity to earn the industry-recognized credentials in 17 areas spanning all 6 pathways. Last year's school year, 47 students tested for credentials. 30 of those tested as proficient. This year, we're excited to host a certification here in Odessa on March 17th, where hundreds of students from dozens of schools will join us for these 17 credentials.
High school enrollment. So as you can see, from 2019 to 2021, our numbers dropped. And again, as you can see, from 2021 to 2026, our numbers have almost tripled. That is with gaining 2 more advisors.
And just some success that we've had in our recent years, Abigail Lett was elected in May of 2020 of this year to state office, which is top 1% of Missouri FFA members who achieve this. She's the first state officer since 2017 to be elected to this office. We also have Harper Dickey, who is running for state office this year. Kaylee Robinson placed 3rd at our fall public speaking in state. She's the first student in more than 6 years to do this. In May 2025, we had an 11th place knowledge team at a state contest. We've produced $9,250 in scholarship money that was awarded by the Odessa FFA Alumni Program since May of 2022. We awarded 4 American degrees at National Convention in October. Abigail Lett was the first ever national award winner as a top 4 finalist in specialty crop production, and we had 20 state competitors qualify in spring of 2025. Thank you.
Now we're going to hand it over to our first Vice President, Kaylee Robinson, as she has just placed 3rd in the state in fall public speaking under the category of soil and water conservation.
I'm going to go ahead and give my speech to you guys as I have prepared. Thank you. Home is where the habitat is. The Oxford Dictionary defines home simply as the place where one lives permanently, which hardly captures what the word truly means. Home is where you can be yourself, without fear of judgment, filled with comfort and familiarity. For me, that's on the outskirts of Odessa, Missouri. It's where I can breathe deeply, think clearly, and feel at ease. When I step in the door, my dad hollers sup, my mom calls hello, and my brother something silly, as younger siblings do. My German shepherds will weave around my feet, and my rabbits Shadow and Dash await me outside. This is my version of home. But home means something different to everyone. For some, it's a place. For others, perhaps a person. Wherever it is, our home shapes who we are. Just as we need our own homes, so do animals. Our pets share ours and livestock have barns. But what about wildlife? Where is their home? And how can we protect it? Wildlife homes are called habitats. Environments that provide the appropriate food, shelter, water, and space for survival. Now, just for a moment, think back to your childhood. Beyond your parents, there was likely someone else who helped raise you and shape who you are today. Perhaps that individual was a family member caring for you while your parents worked, or members of a community coming together for even a few hours. This is the essence of the African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child." Those individuals were the village, a support system contributing to the growth and success of the youth. Wildlife habitats are similar. They too require a village, a conscious and collaborative effort to remain healthy and to thrive. Once, humans lived in balance with nature. However, as human populations grow and development expands, many habitats are under threat. This is where conservationists come in. These are the dedicated individuals offering support and nurturing to the habitats. The Missouri Department of Conservation Safety Instructor James Peters describes conservationists as the parents of the wild. He explains, conservation is the proper use of the land and maintaining good care of it, not preservation, which is the belief against harming anything at all. We, conservationists, and parents understand that there must be injury to maintain that care, like hunting for lowering populations and scrapes on the knees to be tougher. Like good parents, conservationists nurture the land, guiding it and those involved, then stepping back to give it the space to thrive. Just as children always have the support of their village and are never truly alone, habitats continue to grow and thrive under the watchful eye and continued care of those believing in their importance. Because, in the end, it doesn't just take a village to raise a child. It takes a village to protect the wild too. Outreach programs are a key part of this effort, offering support and education to those wanting to become more involved. One such program is the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, EQIP, which helps farmers, ranchers, and forest landowners integrate conservation efforts into their operations. EQIP addresses concerns such as water and air quality, soil health, erosion, wildlife habitats, and the impacts of droughts and other weather-related challenges. The Natural Resource Conservation Service works one-on-one to develop, implement, and maintain these conservation plans. Another example is the Conservation Innovation Grants Program. This competitive venture supports the development of innovative tools, practices, and technologies intended to improve conservation efforts on private lands. Like EQIP, Conservation Innovation Grants empower individuals to take action in preserving and improving the natural environment. Land itself also plays a role. Conservation areas can vary in size from a few acres to thousands. Missouri has over 1,000 conservation areas totaling more than 1 million acres. These spaces allow for different recreational activities like walking, horseback riding, fishing, and hunting. Legal actions keep both people and wildlife safe. Proper waste disposal, collecting all arrows, high backdrops, and using biodegradable clay pigeons in trap shooting are just a few examples. Not everyone in the village is always able to help directly. Some may live far away or be limited by time or resources. This doesn't mean they don't care. These individuals still want to stay connected, offer support, and remain involved however they can. Similarly, not everyone has the land to implement conservation programs or the ability to visit local conservation areas. To ensure everyone can stay informed and involved in habitat conservation, the Missouri Department of Conservation publishes 2 magazines designed to educate the public and foster connection, even from a distance. The first is the Missouri Conservationist, a monthly magazine that answers resident questions, shares current research within the state, and highlights various conservation areas. For example, the October issue answered a question about moths versus butterflies, told about a study on the different calls of northern bobwhites, and emphasized the William R. Logan Conservation Area in the St. Louis region. There's even an interactive feature in which the audience must try to guess a given animal based on a zoomed-in image, which is then revealed and elaborated on later. This engaging feature is also present in the kid-based Explore magazine. Being targeted to a younger audience, other interactive components are also included, while maintaining the same overall educational elements appreciated in the Missouri Conservationist. Together, these publications spread awareness, spark curiosity, and provide a way for anyone to be a part of the conservation effort. In the end, the concept of home goes far beyond 4 walls and a roof. It's about safety, belonging, and the freedom to thrive. Just as we protect our own homes and loved ones, we must also recognize our shared responsibility to wildlife and the habitats upon which they depend. Conservation is not a task for one individual or community alone, but a collective effort requiring awareness and action from the village. Whether through education, participation, or simply spreading the message, every contribution helps. If we accept that home is where the habitat is, then conservation isn't just about saving wildlife. It's about protecting the right of every species to have a home. Thank you.
If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask.
How did you triple the membership in 3 or 4 years? Is that recruiting? That's really impressive.
Well, getting new advisors definitely helped. Like, not saying anything bad about Not saying anything bad about. But like, as we've tripled our advisors, I guess that comes along with members. We have more classes to offer. We also do a thing every year called Recruitment Week. So with that, if members pay their dues on a certain day of the week, they will get a prize. So say on the first day, they would get to go with us to Top Golf. And it goes all the way up to getting a free t-shirt, free lunch, all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that definitely helps. But again, offering more classes definitely does help. So you guys want to add?
Going along with that, we've started expanding a little bit into OMS exploratories. So Mr. Collins has started offering a middle school class similar to Ag 1, where the middle schoolers come over and they get to learn an abbreviated version of what we do in the Ag building. So they don't come in as nervous freshmen like, I don't know if this is really for me. You've already taken something in the Ag building. You already know our 3 advisors. You likely already know a good portion of our members, especially by name. So having that familiarity helps to bring in more people.
I also feel having a lot more members or having a lot more kids spread around the school and is having a lot more kids join within the past 4 years.
That's awesome. Do all the kids speak as well as you guys do? Your social interaction skills are amazing. So you guys are very good at that.
Thank you.
It's definitely a big training process, and having gone to state and placed 3rd, it has played a very big role in who I am, what I can do. I never could have done that before FFA. On top of the cake, I'm enlisted in the Army, and it has definitely helped with can't just military.
Yeah.
So and that being able to project your tone and those are skills I learned.
Them for sure.
And which was at UCM efficiently and giving speeches to judges.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. We spend a lot of time public speaking.
Yes.
I told Roger last month, seeing all of the new landscaping around the campus, especially like on the bus loop and over at OMS. So if you guys are in that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything?
Absolutely.
To put the audit for your final approval. A few things out. For the first time, are now that amount of money multiplied by each student is generating more revenue. The second reason that I bring it to your attention, that's revenues are lower than those from the prior year, is that, and this is why I caution you when you hear folks say that the formula is fully funded. District revenues from state sources that are not the foundation plan. For example, transportation. And I'll go classroom trust fund, transportation, and propositions. We are currently about $305,000 lower this year in those three areas. Okay, and as Dr. O, I mean, he's explained to you before, and you haven't. This shouldn't be a surprise, but when they fully fund the formula, typically it's because something else is not being fully funded, like transportation, obviously. So district revenues from state sources that are non-formula are almost $305,000 less than the same revenues in November of 24. So here's what all that means. If the formula remains the same with no additional reductions, the district would realize an estimated an additional $800,000 in state revenue. If the SAT is reduced to the same level that the governor did last year, because the governor can decide if it's going to stay at $68.99 or at $57.49. That increase, the estimated increase would decline. So I always encourage you, please be cautious when your foundation formula is fully funded. It's a lot of switches that can be turned on.
When you get that, the final notification on what that number
We don't know the final numbers, but
Yeah.
so we get a monthly transmittal report that shows if there are reductions, shows, look at it and see if we you have to dig into the report. But, you know, just as an example, the Prop C of the tax, the sales tax stay live, sales tax revenues are down. That number is going to be high. State revenues decrease, which they projected for this year, and they are down. They're going to check transportation before they tell you the formula, because transportation is not part of the state formula. But they can still say it's fully funded. The manipulation of the SAT still allows them to, they will always say they're fully funded formula. They're dropping that SAT number. The SAT number by law should be 735. It's not, but that's, so they'll always say under the current formula it's fully funded, but they're going to do it.
So last, I want to just explain, school finance is going to be very fluid over the next 18 to 24 months for three reasons. Number one, the governor is projecting $1 billion shortfall. This case, education gets 38 cents of every state dollar. So when they realize the shortfall, we'll feel this effect. Number two, there's discussion, and there's already been a bill filed to talk about the alleviation of the state. And finally, there is a new funding formula on the table. There's a statewide workforce. They have 4 smaller working groups, and they're investigating potential to implement a new funding formula. Doc, it wouldn't be till 28 after we kind of found one. A lot of things on the table. So thanks for your time.
So the group was actually working with us. Last I knew, there's 26 members, small school superintendent, large school superintendent. The educator is, the education slot is being filled by a private educator. I believe, don't be tell me something, but I believe most of them are business people. Quote me on the numbers, but I know there's only two superintendents on there. And last I knew, the teacher representative was educator who also was done those. So three was the education background. There's a state board member on there. There's several positions in the government. So staff.
Brad mentioned water.
Yeah. It's been that way, in my opinion, for several years. Okay.
Right. We are going strong with instruction while also wrapping up the last couple of weeks of first semester. So we've got first grade through eighth grade. They've started their middle of year I-Ready diagnostic testing. So through the platform, we are able to track scores and progress in real time, and I am patiently awaiting, very anxious to celebrate the growth that we are already seeing. Kindergarten and 9th and 10th grade will take their middle of the year diagnostic in January, so when we return to break, so I will have those reports with them to you in February. Last month, I let you know that our district was accepted into the Success Ready Student Network. So this is the network that focuses on competency-based learning, aka real-world learning, how we can bring those opportunities to our classrooms. So the first action that we as a district need to do is have our district and building administrators engage in professional development that is offered to us through the network exclusively. So these PD sessions will help us create ideas and strategies to bring these real world learning opportunities into each of our classrooms, into the buildings. Federal program side, we are in cohort 3. This is our year for tiered monitoring, which means that we have to collect all of our evidence and submit it to DESE so that they can see that we are in compliance with all of their expectations. So we successfully completed and submitted the October and December cycle for Title I. There'll be another cycle in January and April. And then we're also in the process of collecting evidence and submitting documentation for McKinney. And then January 5th, staff members will return back from Christmas break, and so far in the schedule, we'll be meeting with kindergarten through 12th grade math leaders to align our vocabulary. So with our new curriculums in place, now we've gotten kind of a hold on those, jumped into them a little bit. We want to align all of the vocabulary. So every classroom across every grade level is using the same vocabulary. For example, we don't want to use the word subtraction in one classroom and take away in another. So every classroom is using the same vocabulary. We'll meet with kindergarten through 5th grade to discuss some ELA resources to be used in the classroom. And then we will also meet with 1st and 2nd year teachers so that they can meet their requirements to get their beginning year teacher assistant. Okay. So this past month, since our last board meeting, has been an incredible, busy, productive time in the world of special education. I just want to throw out there, that FFA girl, she like did like nothing, and I had to have 2 pieces of paper. I mean, she was amazing. Okay. As we move into the winter months, our team is preparing for the unique challenges that come with potential snow days. Each process coordinator and case manager is proactively looking ahead to ensure that we remain in compliance, even when our schedules shift unexpectedly. This season is often one of the most challenging in the special education field, but our staff continues to rise to the occasion with professionalism and flexibility. This school year is our tiered monitoring year, as we are part of cohort 3. Over the next several months, I will be submitting 30 student files to DESE for review, along with our initial evaluation timelines and Part C to Part B transition timelines. Our process coordinators and I with support from a compliance officer, have been working diligently to ensure all files are accurate, up to date, and fully compliant. This is a significant undertaking, and I do want to acknowledge the hard work and attention to the detail demonstrated by our team. As we entered the Thanksgiving season, we saw an inspiring display of kindness, community, and functional learning across our FLP program. From our youngest learners from ECSC to our high school seniors, students participated in Thanksgiving-focused activities that reinforce life skills while spreading joy. ECSC students made and sold pumpkin pies to staff, a wonderful combination of functional skills, communication practice, and holiday spirit. At Macquarie and OUE, the students helped prepare food to enjoy Thanksgiving meals within their classrooms. They gained confidence and independence in the kitchen. At OMS, students learned an important life skill. When you're invited to a Thanksgiving meal, you often bring a side dish. They prepared all the side items for their Thanksgiving celebration. At OHS, the students handled their entire meal, from turkey to pies, and invited the parents and the staff to join them. The pride on their faces was unforgettable, with many students sharing that they have never done that before. These experiences show the heart of our functional learning program, building independence, teaching real-world skills, and creating meaningful memories. It was truly remarkable to see the excitement and pride our students display. Overall, it's been a month full of progress, preparation, and celebration. I'm proud of our staff and our students for their continued commitment to growth and excellence.
All right, just a few things. Operations world, transportation, they continue to meet our needs. Food service also continues to do a good job. We have our administrative review for food service this year as well in February. On the maintenance side, a couple of projects, some new flooring down in our restroom area. Thanksgiving break that was needed, and some HVAC work as well. We're going to continue the upper painting project over Christmas break. As we have a maintenance director, we have had a few applicants for that. Plan on interviewing for that prior to break, getting my set up next week. And then lastly, we talked roofing and projects and our long-term projects over the last few years. Looking to continue that roof work this summer. Hopefully finishing up the middle school. Trimco will be on site next week for a pre-bid meeting. And if bids come back at an acceptable rate, then that would be the result. Reports are back for review. A couple quick things in advance of the upcoming legislative session. Several areas superintendents have worked to pull together a legislative roundtable with local legislators. And on Thursday, Dr. Fagan Smith and myself are going to Santa Fe High School for this legislative roundtable. Identified topics at this point: open enrollment, state funding formula, and the future of property tax. We'll follow up next month with how that goes. Today was the first day of signups for the April school board election. At the end of the day, the following members had signed up in order: Ms. Glenda Bainbridge, who was able to attend tonight; Ms. Kelsey Leggett. Signups will remain open until December 30th. Close at 5. Next category is discussion items. First, from the Macquarie Facility Assessment Report.
Okay, so included in your packet was some information from IDS. I'm going to just go through and just highlight some things in there. This is all regarding current Macquarie building. they did the facility assessment several years ago when we first started this process. With their interests and the updates and those projects. So, their, the assessment was updated, to score the building, so to speak. A few highlights of that, just to point out. So the building and the site, scored well as far as safety and security. They are safe and secure. HVAC is still in decent condition. The electrical does need updated. Lots of, obviously, when that was built, electricity is way different now, so that is, something to focus on. Is maintained well. The interior maintained well for its age, while the exterior does leave more to be desired as far as electric, but work and some of those type items. Scoring wise, they rate things on kind of leaving 80 as the target, and it fell in their total ranking of 58.7. So obviously, we know it's within a position that needs attention and replacement this whole process. As you go through there, also, so limited, obviously on that site, there are limited expansion options. Noted, the bus loop was a great addition for the safety of that. Traffic out front still can get interesting with parent drop off being on the street, but definitely better than it was before. So on the roof, leaks, though there are still some, they have definitely been, our main staff have done a pretty good job of minimizing that. Those roof leaks know that where it's not where it's necessarily going to building, so those are hard to track down sometimes, especially with snow melt, which is really where might show up to be after that problem. Other exterior, the stucco, and that's something that we do. Very confusing. Yeah, it's at the very top. Interior wise, restrooms are very dated. That's definitely an area that is lacking compared to some of the other areas. Playgrounds, while they're adequate, definitely updates, more modern equipment preferred. What we have is safe and adequate for that. Again, we talked about electric service panel. It's again safe, but aging. The age of the building itself. Geothermal system over there. One that has. Continuing on to floor plan, I included some information about possible areas of renovation, possible cost, light renovations, medium renovations, heavy renovations, just different areas to the building for possible uses. So what you see up on the screen, the map there, is kind of what they looked at as just an initial as an initial place to start. What could be renovated for space and what could be demoed. So the green, the bottom left corner of that, the right-hand picture is from the gym down to the office. Possible renovation of that. And then the blue is that the far top picture, those 4 classrooms on the other. And then that darker blue would be an option because that one, though it is older, that one has restrooms. We could save that and have restrooms in that part of the building. So looking at some cost, again, just rough square foot cost and total renovation, if we were to renovate the green and the blue and demo what's in the red, estimated about 4.
So when you say demo, you mean replace everything on the inside, not level?
No, I mean,
Get rid of the raised, like level.
Yes. And then to rent, so that total cost of that 4.25 would be renovating areas A, B, C, and D, which is the green revelation of the red.
So that wouldn't be set full when it doesn't include, it just includes demoing, not rebuilding that.
Yeah, this isn't a comparison.
Right, no, this is,
Yeah, okay.
this is their preliminary look of given possible uses for the space and the commissioner's building dollar value of it.
I understand.
Their kind of suggestion of who's supposed to start it with.
Potentially you could do, yeah, understand.
Yeah.
So,
This picture will be if everything passes. Just some things that we discuss the possible uses for the space, or the classroom space that we've got here.
Basically, we can demo it all, or we can invest in for P5 and
Right.
keep the function of some other big three.
Yeah. I mean, the demo portion of that full 5 area. Very honestly. But I think it's So we didn't go there, we've talked about that, but didn't go there yet. But that is the discussion we've had about the last portion is that's, you know, that would be. Not that it makes it impossible, but just.
It's stuff in.
There's not a lot that you've done for that, you know. Maybe simply for HVAC, and that was that. We found.
Yeah, I mean, we start to think about as things progress and. Idea of where we work, things are getting into that.
Right.
Okay, you want to give us some training and emergency agreement?
That's good one. There, traffic study, awaiting information back from MoDOT. Design options, again, that, the feedback from staff that we discussed last night.
So I did get an email back today, or yesterday, rather, from Ariel at IES. Talked about with MoDOT that aren't talking about the additional traffic that the street comes neighborhood, unless something is done to the south. Or, you know, something done to the south. So I just wanted to stand that. Oh, you need something now. Here to current traffic. Informational session. So where we are now is after Christmas break, we'll start providing opportunity for the community and talk about the upcoming ballot measures. There will be specifics about the project, about financial implications for everything. So we will publicize those very well and provide multiple opportunities for residents, stakeholders. That ballot.
Yeah, that's included in your packet. The calendar that received the most votes from the staff, 66% of the votes were for this calendar. There were a total of 145 votes. It was open for several weeks. This is just for review and discussion this month. We'll approval if it gets the green light. Yeah, Mr. Henry from Attorney Gordon Sherwood is here to present the audit for the day. Thank you, sir.
Yep, and I'll be real brief. I was on the school board in Franklin for 28 years, so I'm an accounting nerd, but by the time you and my eyes were glazed over on the audit report. So first off, I'd like to thank Dr. O and the staff for all their help during the audit, getting that all together. It's not an easy task, and it's a long, arduous process. So thanks to all those for that. Also, thanks to the district for allowing us to do the audit. I'm going to be pretty brief with this, unless you guys have specific questions. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the whole thing. The main thing is we gave an unmodified opinion. It means we're not it means we're still qualified. It just means there's no exception. The district was in the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects. That's what everybody kind of looks for. That's what basically say to give an opinion, and the district in that it's in good shape. Keep in mind this is a snapshot in time. It was June 30th. To kind of piggyback on Brad, what Brad was mentioning earlier. You know, finances are fluid. You guys, at the end of June 30th, 2025, you had 47% of your expenditures. We consider that a healthy district. generally it's 25 is healthy, so you guys are almost double what we would consider a healthy district. Which is good going with all the variables and switches and levers that Destiny's pulling right now. So as of June 30th, the district is in good shape, which is a good thing. We also had to do it's called a uniform guidance audit. They used to call it a single audit. District received 1.9 million in federal funds. So that is a little more testing, a little more work that we have to do to make sure those federal funds are spent appropriately. The pages 4 and 5, that begins the financial reports of this. So if you look at those pages, that's kind of the overall picture. Then the subsequent pages are more detailed fund statements. So definitely on page 6 and 8, those are the government by funds. That's kind of what you're familiar probably looking at, general special revenue, debt service, capital project. Pages 11, that begins the footnotes. These footnotes then will kind of give you more detail on how the cash is lined out, things like that. Gives you more information on these financial statements. Nothing new this year in the footnotes as opposed to years prior. And then later on is more supplementary schedules. These are kind of your budget reports for your debt service, capital project funds. Those are minor compared to general and special revenue. That's why they're a little farther back in the report. And then we also provide detailed revenue reports on page 29 and 30 for you guys. Pages 31, that's the required schedule by DESI. That's where we have to test all the things that DESI requires us to look at. Your ADA, your hours in attendance, whether or not your treasurer's bonded, a lot of different things like that. This year we had no findings on that, so that's good. Couple of years in the past, we had some minor what we would consider slap on wrist. So good job again by the district of getting those minor things cleaned up. On pages 39 through 55, that's where you get into your controls, governmental funds, your federal funds, things like that. And we're also required to report if we have any findings in that. We do have a finding, which is a lack of segregation of duties. 95% of the schools we audit have that. And basically, when you have a finance director that can do the job of 3 people, it doesn't make sense for the district to pay 3 people to get the finding out of there when 1 guy can do it or 1 gal. So, like I said, almost 100% of our schools we have that just because the office staff can generally handle the position. And then we didn't have any federal findings this year at all. Like I said, the district had 1.9 million in federal expenditures. I don't know if that's going to go up or down with the way everything's going now. Who knows? So, next year, the testing. This year the testing was 750 and above. Next year it's $1 million and above. So you guys will have a single audit. I imagine until they raise that cap to 5 million. So you guys will have that every year. That is what I have. Like I said, I want to be quick and brief, but also I would love if you guys have any questions. We also we give an audit communications letter, so you guys should have that. Again, there were no findings in that other than the segregation that were required. Overall, I thought the audit went well this year. Maybe your office staff deems otherwise when you get back. But
we always appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity to work with the district. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to entertain. And Dr. was good about contacting us. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. We better not. This is year 4. Oh, we need to.
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept it. On 2024.
Good. Okay, your packet was included this year's renewal.
Over a 0.5% increase over last year, so that's good. See, they had approved a 4% increase, but we had a reduction in our work comp claims, so we only saw just over $3,000 increase.
That jump
Yeah, big jump. You see.
What's presented last month was the update to our curriculum handbook that we are required to have on file. So the main changes, again, where we went away from utilizing Embark as our curriculum housing platform to utilizing Google Drive, is what our teachers use on a daily basis. So we're looking for approval from curriculum handbook.
Okay, language, first one is proposition of Vincent. Yeah, the proposition of Odessa School language is in the packet provided by L.J. Hart, has been approved by bond council. The language will allow the district to replace McQuarrie Elementary off Cox School Road, or if the bond issue passes and the board could use the funds to move forward with a long-term phase-in replacement of the existing McQuarrie site. The board has no other recommendations. If the board has no other recommendations, this language is presented for formal approval. This would be the no tax increase bond issue estimated. Yes, here we got this a couple times.
Motion we approve the resolution.
All in favor? Mr. Kids. Proposition kids, again, is in your packet, provided by L.J. Hart and approved by bond council. This language will allow the district to use the additional levy to replace Quarry Elementary off Cox School Road. Could not be used in the location for the replacement. The 90-cent capital levy would generate an estimated $25 million. It does have a set at 20 years. That motion accept an executive session in any record for vote. The next scheduled meeting, state statutes within chapter 610. All in favor? Yeah. We need to do a roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Take a motion. Reserve.